Zibba-da-da-da-da. Zibba-da-da-bum-ba-da-da-bum-ba. Zibba-da-dum-bum-ba-da-bum-ba. Ba-da-da-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum-ba-dum. A-be-da-dum-ba-da-bum. Alright, here we are. Hello, travelers of the internet, and welcome back to Guardian Studios. Or, if you're new to the channel, hey there, and welcome to you. My name is JGuard01, and I am your host, your guide, and your humble bard into the world's virtual. And I am very pleased to welcome you all back to the channel, or, in the case of newcomers, welcome you fresh to a Guardian Studios experience here on the YouTube channel. We are back in the world of Galabor, my friends, where I have a very specific and important project in mind. Now, you guys will know that we've already built an iron farm, and we just got done finally finishing a frustratingly taxing project known as a gold farm. Well, now I want to do a drowned farm for copper. The problem is that's going to require materials that I do not have. Specifically, it's going to require a bunch of ice. Again, not something I have right now. So, I am going to have to go somewhere where I can get a boatload of ice in a hurry. Thankfully, I've got chunk base set up with just the coordinates. I have just the area in mind. So if I head for about 4,000... 4,000 by -2. Alright, so almost 5,000 by -2,500 ought to be where I need to go. Hey, Leo! Good to see you, man. Hey, thank you for posting the rules, my dude. Always appreciate you doing that. And we're gonna run inside and see if this is a thunderstorm real quick. Yes, it was. Okay, good thing I did that. Alright, so we're going to need certain materials with us. We're also going to have to bring some stuff with us for other reasons. There are certain things I want to be prepared for that it'd be good to have certain materials along with us to handle those tidbits. One of the main things that I want to make clear is I don't like having to rely on chunk base as much as I have been. I want to change things. I don't want us to be relying on chunk base if we can avoid it. So, I want to make it so that when we find stuff, we can set up markers of some kind to guide us back to where those things were. In this case, we're going to be going off to look for an icy biome. We're going to look for somewhere where we can get a boatload of ice in a hurry. Now, that is going to mean in finding that place, we're going to end up... I'm losing track of what I'm saying. Basically, one of the things I want to set up is I want to set up a means of finding our way to different locations where different things are. So, since we've learned that we can actually use compasses in bundles to find stuff, we're going to set up a lodestone compass at the frozen place where we're going to be going so that we never have to go to chunk base again to find it down the road. We'll know where to go. That does mean I need to grab some iron and a piece of redstone dust and make a compass. So let's do that real quick. Oh, sweet. I already have that set aside the right way. Break that down to dust. Make a compass. I ought to make a boatload of compasses at some point so that we don't have to... Oh! Okay, I've got a bunch of these lodestones. Okay, we're gonna take a bunch of those with us. We're gonna make sure we've got a bunch of those with us at all times. I did not realize I had that many. I'm taking a couple ender pearls in case we need to pop one out and get a quick teleport away from anything. I doubt we'll encounter anything that dangerous, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, you know? How is that taking up so much? Oh, because the obsidian is taking up a boatload. That's why. I've got to have the obsidian with us, though. There's just no getting around that. I do need to have that with us. Mainly because that way we don't have to worry about... If we've got to travel back by means of the nether, for some reason, we can place down the obsidian and open up a portal. Now, granted, I don't have flint and steel on me all the time. But I can generally find iron and flint pretty quickly. Alright, one more thing I need to make sure we have, and this is a spare bed. I know one of these chests over here has beds in it. Aha! Bed. I'm gonna put away this oak for now. Bring birch, because that's what I've got more of. At some point, we gotta harvest, we gotta break down all the trees around here. Plant a bunch of oak and chop it up. Or find a forest nearby that we don't care about and chop it up. Either way, at some point we're going to have to restock our oak supplies. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Alright, so we've got an allay with us, which is good, because I'm going to end up... When we get to this place, I'm going to have the allay scoop up the majority of the ice. Alright, so basically we're going northeast. And again, the coordinates we're headed for are 4,700 and negative 2,300. Okay. That is a long hike. Can I travel there mostly by land? Actually, it looks like I could. It does look like I kind of could. I'd have to... You know what? We're gonna bring my horse. We're gonna take my horse. I don't often use my horse, because there's not often any way that the darn thing can be used, but we're gonna use my horse this time. Oh, except it is so fast that the allay gets left behind. That's alright. Easy solution. Just use the lead to keep the little LA buddy with us. Want to get as much ice as we possibly can. Wait a minute. Better idea. Better idea. Yes, even better than the horse. We've got donkeys back at the base. I don't think they're particularly fast, but a consistent pace is fine if in exchange we can give them darn it. I didn't mean to do that. I don't think I have a second saddle. I don't think I do. Hang on. Do I have another saddle anywhere? I'll look through my stuff and see. Do I have another saddle anywhere? Because if I do, I'm taking that saddle and putting it on one of the donkeys. Doesn't look like I do, though. That stinks. Wait a minute. 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 Gotta check the likely suspects. Ooh, got golden horse armor. Didn't realize I forgot I had that. See, sometimes I pick up stuff on my journeys that I end up forgetting about. And yeah, I don't have a saddle to spare. That stinks. I'll have to set up a leather worker to get more saddles so I can put them on the donkeys. But I'm thinking we figure out which donkey is got the fastest speed. Because I know they're not going to be anywhere near as fast as my horse. Okay, that is probably the worst donkey. This donkey's got the most health. And he's already tamed that. Doesn't really bode too well. I don't know, I think this will work. This is the other one that was fairly durable. Oh, this is faster. I think this one's even faster. Donkeys clearly don't have very good jumping. But I don't need him to have good jumping. Just want him to be able to have... Can he take a chest as a saddlebag? I should really test that before I... He can't. It's mules that can do that. Isn't it? Well, crud. Alright, how do you breed them? How do you breed them? It's golden carrots, isn't it? Well, one more reason to have a lot of gold, I suppose. Tie those two together for now. Grab a couple of carrots. I think that's how you breed horses and donkeys. I don't know for sure. We're about to find out. That gives us a mule. That just made me think of a song. It's a really old song. It's been around forever. I may have to honor that song with the name for the donkey or mule. Just gotta get that mule aged up real quick. So I'm thinking the way to do that is hay bales, isn't it? Well, there's a bunch. I think it's hay bales. I don't know for sure. If they work, great. If they don't, then we'll try regular wheat. But I gotta age this mule up so I can use it. Why is it bugging out like that? It's even worse of a jumper than its parents. How do you... Oh. Wait, was I just doing it wrong that whole time? That's literally what it was. That is literally all that it was. I wish horses could have the saddlebags, rather than having to use this guy. Because he is very slow, compared to how fast the horse goes. Hello, hello, hello! Hello, Kerry Duncan. I know that name from somewhere. There's my little LA buddy. Alright, let's finally head out to the coordinates where we can find ourselves some ice. It's gonna be a long journey. Oh, there's lava in there. Nice. Well, I know where to get lava when I need to make a lava farm. Or if I need to make a cobblestone generator. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that was you, Hoyt. It's good to see you again. Glad you can make it back to the channel. How you been? Feels like it's been a while since we've seen you. How are you? By the way, does anybody else think it's ridiculous that Minecraft horses can't have saddlebags? Glad to hear you've been doing good, Hoyt. Glad to hear it. I really think Minecraft horses should be able to have saddlebags. It would make traveling with horses even better. Even if their saddlebags wouldn't be as big as a donkey's, they should still have them. Exactly! Back during the Wild West era, and the time of cowboys and all that, and even before then, when people rode horses, they often had the horse equipped with saddlebags, so that the horse could carry some of their stuff. It was convenient. So why Minecraft never has horses able to use saddlebags, I do not know. It makes no sense when you stop and think about it. Hey, there you go. There you go. That's another option. Give us wagons or sleds to be able to bring our storage with us. Just give us some way that horses can bring inventory with us. That's why if I ever get around to actually doing a Java Edition mod pack of my own, I definitely... You made a mod for that? Wait, you made a mod for that? What version? What version of the game is it for? Bedrock? Java? In which number? Edition? Clear snow... So wait, you actually did a mod for the sled thing on the newest version. I may have to check this out. If it's... It wouldn't happen to be out there where people can go and download it, would it? Because I'd be interested to try it out. Hey, what should I call this donkey that I'm riding? This one that I'm using to get around. My first thought was Duke, for some reason. Duke the donkey. I don't know why. Duke. Alright. Let's hope... Ooh, did I lose my little LA buddy? Oh, darn it. That's gonna make the work a little harder. I'm headed for a frozen area where I can get a bunch of ice. Because I need it for projects, but... If we are missing our little LA buddy, that's gonna make the process a little harder. Which is part of why I'm bringing this guy, because I wanted to be able to fill his saddlebag with a bunch of ice, too, so that I don't miss out, since I've got a bunch of stuff in my inventory. I did not mean to bring all that wheat. I forgot to put the wheat back. Well, let's compact it and bundle it up, and we'll put it in the saddlebag. Oi! Don't you be wandering off on me now. Coal. Could use a little of that. Yeah, the bundles. Problem is, bundles only do, they only store up to a stack of anything, if it's stackable, and one item if it's a non-stackable item. So... Okay, that's, oh. I'm trying to find this land bridge between where I'm going and where I am. Looks like I gotta backtrack this direction and then go around to get to it. At some point, I gotta properly learn how to do modding, because I would love to do some of that myself. Make my own mods and put them together in packs and make them work. That'd be fun. Come on, Duke. Got tons of ideas for things to add through modding. Whether it be on Bedrock or Java. Though Java would probably be the first one I'd try to do. Who knows? Bum 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 da 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 dum. Honestly, I can't wait for the spear to be a thing. Once the spear is part of the game, oh my goodness, I am going to have a lot of fun with that. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's only available in, like, the latest snapshot. That's the word I couldn't think of the other day. The latest snapshot and, in beta. Bedrock Edition beta. Yeah, that's why you may be seeing some videos of people fiddling around with it, but you don't see me using it, because if it is available to me right now, it'd be as an experimental feature, and I generally don't turn on experimental features. I wait until they become part of the game, and then I figure out how they work. And then I decide if they're of any use to me. That's how I've been handling the copper golem, trying to figure out if I can actually use it where I want to, in the ways that I want to. Have I been here before? Oh yeah, I've been here before, because there was a wolf type here that I had wanted, but I ended up unable to get him. He despawned before I could tame one. And then I went, because I was fighting off a bunch of skeletons to get bones, because I really wanted to tame him, so I could bring him with me and then take him home. But instead of being able to do that, I instead got stuck just fighting the skeletons for no real reason anymore. That's basically how it all played out. Because eventually I want to get all the wolf types. All the different wolf skins. I want to have a pair of each of them. Yeah. When you want to get a pet in Minecraft, but the darn thing despawns on you. It is extremely sad. I guess you could say that. I guess you could say that. That and cats. Because they're collectible animals, and they don't make a whole ton of frustrating noises. Parrots, on the other hand, like to imitate monster noises, which makes them very frustrating to have around. Otherwise, I'd have them. True, they could potentially be a nice early warning system if there's monsters nearby, but they go off if there's monsters within a certain radius. And that includes underground. That's where the irritation comes in. Otherwise, I'd be collecting parrots in this game. But no, they've got to be frustrating to deal with. actually really like the way riding mounts works in this game. And you know, I had an idea for another mount type that we could have in the game, since it is kind of a fantasy world. Dire wolves. Exactly, Hoyt. Exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about here. You know exactly what I'm talking about with the parrots. Hearing all those monster noises, and then you're like, oh, shoot! What's there? Oh, wait, no, that was a zombie. That was not a real zombie. Or that was not a real creeper. That was my parrot. Stinking bird. Aha. Nice. Nice. A flat world? Cool. Oh, I bet. I bet. You don't really think about how difficult it is to do survival in a flat world. Assuming you are doing survival in it. Stop hopping, Duke. You ain't a rabbit, dude. Alright, I kinda figured it probably would be. See, I'm not sure how much ice I'm actually gonna need, and I don't have shulker boxes. That's why I wanted to bring something that I could steer that would be able to carry some ice for me. Unfortunately, camels you can't steer. You can drag them, but you can't steer them. Alright, so if I just go straight away this way, I'll get to where I'm trying to go pretty easily. It's just gonna be a matter of crossing rivers and stuff. Come on, Duke. I meant to bring an allay, but we left him behind. Why are you hung up on? It's making you not come with. Did you get hung up on a fish or something? I'm not too worried about keeping a hold of all my leads at this point. Got so darn many, and the Wandering Trader spawns in so often at the Hobbit Hole that I gotta take this shield off for a minute, because that's the one thing about mounted travel that does bother me, is it forces your shield to be up. And that shield can block a good amount of your view. Don't know if I've been here yet. I'd wager not, since I haven't done anything to their fountain. And those green sparkles went off, so... This is a leatherworker house. Ah, world is saving. World is saving, so everything is slowed down for a moment. Ooh, emeralds. Yeah, I'll take those. The rest of that you can keep. Any other buildings worth a darn? Doesn't really look like it. If you're gonna live by a rock that casts that heavy of a shadow, place some light. Get some light around it. That poor moron got himself stuck. I'd like to help him, but gotta focus in on what we're out here to do. It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna stinking matter. I just messed up royally. You can't collect ice without a silk touch pick, J-Guard. I just spent all this time getting out here, and I forgot... to bring... a silk touch pick. You know what, Duke? Wants to let me leash you somewhere. I'm gonna put you somewhere for safety. And then I'm gonna make my way back to Hobbit's Cove. I've got a Silk Touch axe, but it's not going to be nearly good enough. Alright. Duke is tied off. I'm going to make my way back on foot. If I go back on foot, I can swim and climb without losing him. Nothing for you to be sorry about. Quite. It's my fault. I messed up. I forgot to grab the Silk Touch pick. I was having such a hard time figuring out, okay, can donkeys have saddlebags? I thought they could and all that. That I didn't think. Darn it, Jay, you gotta bring the silk pick. Well, if I am gonna run back, I might as well double check the village doesn't have anything worth looting. Which, it really doesn't look like it does. It looks like they're it's populated by morons that don't know what they're doing. Wait a minute, that guy's got an eye patch. That's a weaponsmith. Is there a weaponsmith house around here? If there is, I gotta check and see what his loot is. I'm telling you, that's a weaponsmith. Is it? Please tell me I'm not wrong. It is a weaponsmith. Make a path for these morons to get back to where they belong. There's a weaponsmith, but where's his house? There it is! I see it. Blacksmith shops are always worth checking. Ah. Ooh, wait! Iron horse armor! And saddles! I was saying that I needed more saddles. The game decided to provide. Sweet. I should probably stick around until sunset and then head back. That way I've got as much daylight time as possible. I'm gonna do these guys a favor. I'm gonna leash their pigs so the pigs can't get away. Or I guess they can get away still. Well, and let's do them a different kind of favor with the pigs. Put the pigs where they're not gonna have as much opportunity to get out. And now we duck into one of these houses and go to bed. So Duke is here. He's hanging out. Let's head back to the base. Alright, gotta remember. About 3,500 and negative 2,600. That's where we gotta come back to. So we can get Duke. I can't leave Duke behind. What do I play on? PlayStation 4. That's why if you look at the full title of most of my streams, if not all of them, you'll see, well, the Bedrock ones anyway, you'll see PS4 at the end of the stream title. Thank you, Hoyt. Thank you for posting coordinates. That actually helps out a lot more. Having it as close to exact coordinates to work with as possible, that helps big time. That really, really does. So, we're going to make our way home on foot. And then we'll come back on foot with an allay, hopefully, and be able to and that's fine. As long as they're close, as long as they're close to where we left Duke, that's fine. I'm not looking for exact locations. I just need general locations so I can find my way. It would be nice if we could find our little allay buddy. I don't know how we lost him, unless I leashed him to something by mistake back at the base. Kinda hoping that's the case. If not, eventually I'll probably drift through the area where he is and be able to come back. I just had another thought. If I ever have to do this kind of thing again, I just realized I've got lodestones and compasses for them. Say what now? I'm confused. I lost the allay at a river? Is that what you're saying? I'm confused. But that's nothing new. I get confused easy. Okay, I remember this. Okay. Alright, so I lost him at a river. Good to know. Good to know. Hopefully we find him. Hopefully we recover him. I getcha. I getcha. Yeah, I gotta remember that I've got lodestones and compasses with me. I just put them in my pack with this session, as in my bundles. I really wish that we could get some kind of actual backpack in Bedrock Edition. Java Edition, there's tons of different options for that. And even ways to have keybinds to make it so you can access them whenever you want. But it'd be nice to have a backpack like that in Bedrock Edition. Because I love having that kind of thing in modded Minecraft. It makes it so much easier to organize and carry stuff. It really, really does. Bundles are nice, don't get me wrong, but the fact that they only ever hold up to a stack of stackable items and only one equipment item or unstackable item, period, is annoying. If it were up to me, I'd have made it so that bundles could be upgraded. Like, oh, okay, you got this bundle that can carry a stack. Nice. Do you want to upgrade it? You can do it in a smithing table with a certain material to make it able to hold another stack. Or you can combine bundles to make a backpack. Honestly, that's what I would do. I'd make it so bundles can be combined into a backpack. Hey, if you can make a mod like that for the latest version of the game on Java, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. It'd be a vanilla-esque feel, especially if the... Because even if it just plays the way a bundle does, having it so that it's like a bundle, but with a bigger inventory, an expandable inventory, that'd make people happy. Of course, I would make it so that it does cost some kind of expensive item, like a diamond or a couple of diamonds, to craft a high-tier one. Because my thought is, okay, let's upgrade it along the natural tiers of equipment in the game. Let's have it start off, okay, you got the leather, nice. Now you go to iron, and then you can go to gold, and then diamond, and then... If you really think it's worth it, go with netherite. That's an idea. Hey, that's an idea. Add in a gimmick where, okay, if you try to overfill it, it'll rip. And it'll spill the items into your inventory or over the ground. Or something like that. That's an idea. Stuff like that is actually very interesting to me. Again, I would love to one day be able to do modding myself. But right now, all I can do is try to assemble packs. Yeah. Yeah, being able to repair treasured belongings is another thing that I like in the modding community. Some mods make it so that, okay, your equipment, your valued equipment, can be made, it won't break permanently, but it does break, and then you have to go repair it. I like that kind of thing. Yeah, I totally hear you on that. I've actually previously tried to make models for Minecraft using a program called Blockbench. Once you start fiddling around with it, Blockbench is a lot of fun to make models in. Yeah? You gonna make a mod pack for me, Hoyt? That'd be fascinating. That'd be cool. Yeah, I like fiddling around with different mods and mod packs and things in Java Edition and finding these mechanics that I like, as well as adding in mechanics that I already thought of that I thought I might like. There's one mod out there that did something for Minecraft that I really wish was in vanilla. The mod is called Domestication Innovation, and it made it so that you could have a pet bed. A pet bed that, oh, you can have your pet walk over it or sit them down on it, and boom, they become bonded to it. If they die, then a little while later they will respawn there on that bed. And they had another feature where there was a lantern you could place down in the world, where if you had any pets that went missing, after a little while, if that lantern was in the world and you were nearby, boom, they'd reappear at that lantern. They just sleep on it? That's still pretty neat. But having ways to have your missing pets return, whether from death or just from being lost in the world, those are features I wish we had in the game. Not to mention, this is one that I think could easily be implemented in the game in full-on vanilla too. The ability to call a pet or a mount to your side using like a whistle or with something that's already in the game now. The horn. A horn. Being able to do stuff like that would make a lot of sense to me. No worries, my dude, no worries. Yeah, that's alright. Hey, if you want to go play a game while you're watching or listening, that's fine. Multitasking is okay with me. Multitasking or having me in the background, I got no problem with that. I've got so many thoughts up here in my head for things to add to Minecraft that half of them I'm sure Mojang will never decide to implement something like it, but others, I'm surprised they haven't. Because they'd be very well liked features, I'm sure. Ow. Block of obsidian. Oh, that's a nice golden pick. Go ahead and take that. Can use that if my main pick ever gets low. And gold horse armor I'll always take. Hey, I'd be fine with that, my man. I would be fine with that, Hoyt. If you hear any ideas that I throw out there, and you think, hey, that's pretty good, I want to use that idea, you feel free to make use of it. As far as I'm concerned, if I can give anybody in the modding community ideas for things to add to a game, then that's just bonus. My only request is if I did inspire the idea, maybe a little note somewhere in the description of the mod. I'm half joking, but, I mean, if you do that, that'd be awesome. Alright, I think I'm getting close to home. No sign of our little Allay friend. But I didn't take the same route to here as I did leaving. So, if he's not somewhere nearby, the little guy is not going to come back to us. I really do wish that horses could have saddlebags. Then I'd have just had the horse wear saddlebags, and I'd have made it back and forth way faster. I'd have been okay with riding the mount all the way back in that event. I once had an idea for a mob, a creature, to have in the game. Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. But even just having just a note in the description is fine. Well, the idea for the creature was basically an enlarged wolf called a dire wolf. Basically a wolf that you could actually ride on and that could attack as you're riding. If you're riding along, you bump into a hostile mob. Oh, the wolf is going to do some damage as it's passing by. It was a weird idea, but it was just something that popped into my head one day and just stuck there. Hey, Ryan! Good to see you, man! In JJ... what's JJK? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. I'm doing pretty good, Ryan. Thank you for asking, my man. Thank you very much for asking. Is that an anime kind of reference? Is that an anime thing? I don't know. Basically, more realistic was my thinking. Supposedly, there were once massive wolves in the world, but supposedly they slimmed down over the years. I don't know. And the ones that were still big went extinct. I don't know the full details, but that was one of several ideas I had that never really went away. I've had so many thoughts on things that I wish were possible in this game. Like, can we please have the ability to tame more of the animals? Yeah, if you're not sure if one would work, you don't have to do it by any measure. Pick out the ones that you feel like you want to do. Don't... It's not... This isn't me demanding anything or anything. This is just me throwing ideas out there. So there's no pressure at all. Hey, sounds fine to me. That was kind of how I did my attempts at models in Blockbench. I would be bored, not sure what to do in the game, so I would end up sitting down, picking something from another game or something like that, and try to model it in Blockbench. And I had fun doing that too. That's fun. There. Now that guy's got better armor. Alright, so I made it all the way back here because I realized I didn't bring my Silk Touch pick with me. And I'm going to go get ice, so... As anybody who's played Minecraft can tell you, you can't pick up ice blocks without Silk Touch. And my axe was not gonna be enough. Where is my silk pick? Oh, Jagard, when you have a place for something, you put it back in its place when you're done with it. I think I'm gonna put these shelves in different places around the base so that I've got somewhere else to put things like that when I just want to get them out of my inventory for some reason. Like these. Tridents. Loose tridents. I gotta make sure stuff is actually put somewhere where I can find it, you know? Diamond helmet. At some point, I've got to upgrade these diamond helmets and possibly combine them so that I can get that aspect of things taken care of. I don't know why I said it like that. That was confusing. Something tells me it's down here in the mining area. Uh-oh. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta refill my water. Alright, I'm back. With water. Although, it didn't fully fill it. I may end up having to go get more later. Alright, I got a couple ideas where I could find my Silk Touch pick. I don't know why it's not back where it belongs. Maybe I was using it. I really don't know. Is it in here? It's the first place I would have thought to look, but it's not here. Oh boy. The next thought is somewhere like the gold farm. Maybe I had it at the gold farm for some reason. I doubt it. I don't think it would have broken. I doubt that it's something broken, but I'm sure that it's somewhere around here. It's in one of my structures. That I'm certain of. I'm just not sure where I left it. And from now on, I've got to make sure any tool that I'm using, if I decide to set it somewhere, to put it somewhere out of the way, I've got to make sure I put it on a shelf so that I can find it again. Because if it's put away in a chest, then I gotta search through all my chests to be sure I didn't leave it somewhere obscure and ridiculous. Did I say it like that? I apologize. That was weird. I don't know why it came out that way. That was strange. But what doesn't break you just makes you stranger. Yeah, every now and then I may slip up in my pronunciation and say something absolutely ridiculous. If I do, feel free to just sit there, point at the screen, and laugh. Oh, I just really don't know where to find this darn thing. It wouldn't be in any of the wool chests. It's not in there. My first thought would have been in the mines, but I don't know. Well, thank you for that. That actually makes me feel a little better about it. Could be on one of the layers of the mine, so I better go down and check there first before I do any more searching up here. Matter of fact, it is most likely down in the mines somewhere, because I would have probably used the Silk Touch pick to get certain material from down here for other builds, like stone. So, let's check the chests down here. No, but a nice bit of lapis and gold and coal I should take with me. And a furnace. Yeah, I'm gonna take all that stuff with me. No, no. Wait a minute, was that coal? No, that was deep slate. Why is there deep slate on this layer? Probably for building purposes. Nothing there. Going down further. There ain't nothing here. That layer's got nothing. And this one hasn't even been dug out yet. So this is the layer I'm hoping... Aha! There it is! There's that and my hoe. What is my hoe doing here? I have no idea. But, found it. Time to take the emergency exit out of this... out of the mine. Back to the surface! Woohoo! Ah, you stutter sometimes? Ouch. Oh, I see. Sorry to hear that. Oof. At some point I gotta take these tools to the gold farm and do some AFK time. That stuff's wearing down. It's not good. If any of my tools break, I gotta spend all the time that it takes to recraft them back into what I want. I'm gonna leave my scaffolding behind this time. I don't really need it. But now I've got my Silk Touch pick. I've got everything that I need this time. So we're gonna pick our way back to where we were headed. Back to where we left Duke. I at least want to get back to Duke before we call it for this go-around. Because again, I want to have Duke come with us so that I can get some extra ice compared to whatever I'll be able to carry on my own. There's another mod out there on Java that does something I think is really smart. They make it so you can pick up and carry tile entities, like chests, barrels, furnaces, You can even pick up actual mobs, too. Like animals, villagers. And I'm not talking pick them up as items. I'm talking your character is physically picking them up as objects that they carry in their arms. That kind of thing. It's a really, really cool feature. And I honestly love the heck out of it. It's such a simple idea, but that someone took off with that idea and made a mod that is so solid. It makes me grin. Honestly, it does. It makes me grin. Thinking about how cool it is that someone actually bothered to do that. And one of the things about it that I actually really like is it can also allow you to pick up spawners. So if you find a spawner that you want to use for a project, like a big high potency mob farm, you can easily pick up the spawner, move it somewhere, move it where you want it to be, and then yeah. It's just stuff like that that you wouldn't initially think of, and then you see somebody do it and you're like, oh, that's actually a good idea. Another thing that there are a couple of mods that do this. One very popular called Comforts. Sleeping bags. Now, I know someone out there on the Bedrock community has made a sleeping bag, an attempt at a sleeping bag item in their add-on that makes it so that you can sleep in the sleeping bag. It skips time so that you can Which one is you, Hoyt? What's you? Because this add-on for Bedrock, it did a sleeping bag. It was a solid attempt at making a working sleeping bag in Minecraft. The only issue with it, well, actually, there's 2 points of constructive criticism I would give the maker. One, okay, yeah, cool. On one hand, the sleeping bag existed as an entity, which, whenever it was placed down, which is my main issue with a lot of the add-ons that are out there, or were out there when they first started. Everything was an entity, not a block, but an entity, which it just doesn't have the same kind of solid, it's part of the game now kind of feel that I was hoping for with that. And then the other point of constructive criticism I would have given the maker of that particular one is, dude, you made it so that it just skips a certain amount of time. It'd have been better to make it so it sets time to morning or day or whatever, instead of skipping a set amount of time. Say somebody goes to get in this, and it worked during day or night. Now, honestly, the working day or night thing, not a big issue. I actually kind of find that to be nice. Because I've often wished that there was a way to skip day and go to night if I'm, like, out hunting at night. If I've got to go hunting for monsters for any reason, it's better. It'd be nice to have a way to be able to skip the day instead of skipping the night, you know? But... And Comfort's actually added a feature that did that. Okay, this was an unexpected but very welcome circumstance. I may not have gotten my main allay back, but I got 2 more. I may not have gotten the one that I wanted, but I got 2 more. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And if we happen to find our 3rd one, to find that one that we lost, icing on the cake. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Anyway, so, yeah. Sleeping bag, some way to skip day and go to night. Those are things that I wish were in the game. I wish they were part of the main game, because that would be so darn helpful. Being able to sleep and skip the night without reassigning my respawn point. Or being able to skip the day and go into the night just instantly, like you do skipping the night by sleeping in the bed. These are things that would be good, in my opinion. They would be good to have. And I don't see why Mojang has never implemented anything like that. Somebody apparently said somewhere along the way recently, if the creeper were not already part of the game, Mojang would not be adding it in today. Because they want to make it so that the player has as much control over what happens in the world as possible. And for whoever it was that said it, doesn't see the creeper as falling within that purview. Dude, I say that it does, because I say that it still fits in fine with that perspective. Okay, yeah. Your first time you see a creeper, if you've never played Minecraft, you don't know what a creeper is, you're gonna learn the hard way what it is. Whoop-de-doob. Whoop-de-doober. So you had to find out the hard way what that thing is. Who hasn't? Most everybody who's ever played the game before seeing content about it ends up learning the hard way what it is. Learning the hard way what something does or how something works in a video game, that's just playing the game. That's how games work. That's how a video game is supposed to be. You're not... I don't know. I don't know. It's just, it sounds to me like they're not considering that this is meant to be a game where, okay, there should be some challenge. And that's part of why Bedrock Edition players have been practically begging for hardcore mode. We don't want the game to be super stinking easy. We don't want everything to be easy. We like it when there's some challenge. Some of us like having even more challenge. I mean, personally, I can never bring myself to do hardcore mode. I rarely, if ever, will do hardcore mode because I'm constantly building stuff. And half the time, I really, really like what I'm building. And I don't want to lose it. So I'm like, okay, hardcore, if you die, you're done. One death and it's done. Not a big fan. I'm not going to do that. but I can still see the appeal of it. And I myself will play it that way sometimes. I think I'm kind of going around and around in circles with what I'm saying, ultimately. Kind of get tired of myself when I do that, but anyway. Bouncing off of that, I do think it would be nice to have more variety of creatures in the game. So that's another part of the reason why I thought up the direwolf idea. Like, have it be a wolf that is hostile to everything unless you tame it. And then once you tame it, it is loyal for life and will let you ride it if you put a saddle on it. Thank you, Hoyt. Thank you. I appreciate that. And again, I've also thought about the idea of why can't we tame more of the animals that are in the game? Like a rabbit. Rabbits, we often make pets of them in the real world. So why is it we can't do that in Minecraft? Why can't we tame rabbits? I mean, is it a matter of what purpose would they serve? It's a pet. Doesn't necessarily have to serve any special purpose. If you want to give it a purpose, have it be the equivalent of the mouse in an elephant situation towards a ravager or something. Yeah. I figure it would be. I figure it'd be easy to do. Make it so that a rabbit, if they want to give it a feature beyond, oh, it's just another animal you can have as a pet. Because let's consider, wolves will fight for you once they are your pet. Cats repel creepers and phantoms. If you want to give the rabbit some kind of function behind it becoming a pet, some function-based reason for people to make it their pet, all you gotta do is give it something that it repels. And my first thought is, make it repel a ravager. Make it so that ravagers are actually somehow afraid of rabbits. I mean, if you ever see a real-life rabbit, those things, when they get in a mood, they are moody little things, apparently. I wouldn't know. I've never had a pet rabbit myself, but I've seen videos of rabbits that were pets to people, and they are moody things. They are moody things. And let us consider, it wouldn't be entirely out of place for a big beast, or a big beefy thing, to be scared of a little thing. There is, I don't know if it's just a cartoony, stereotypical thing or whatever, but elephants and mice? Huh? Consider the elephant and the mouse. Elephant is supposedly scared of a mouse. I've never seen this be proven true, but it's in everywhere you look. Everywhere you see elephant in cartoons, and people always talk about it, books and such, they constantly try to make you think, okay, so an elephant is scared of a mouse? It's just a thought. And as dangerous as they could potentially be to be in the game, I feel like we ought to have had some new kind of dragon in the game by now. To my understanding, Notch had wanted at one point to have another dragon in the game. I want to say it was supposed to be like a red dragon. He'd wanted to have it in the game, but it never ended up happening. That's just something I've heard. I don't know if it's 100% factual, so don't quote me. But it would be kind of cool to have more dragons in the game, of some kind or another. Brings me to another idea I had at one point. Implementing different kinds of dragons. But I don't know. But, and on the subject of pets, give us a way to call them back to us in the event that we lose track of them. Or make it so that we can have them wander around. Make it so that we can... Because Domestication Innovation, a mod that I mentioned earlier in the stream, does this. It makes it so that anything that can be a pet, or anything that can be tamed, can be commanded to either sit and stay, follow, or just wander around. And they generally stay in one area. And again, they have a lantern in the mod that, if you place this lantern into the world, after a little while, if you have any tamed animals out there that were wandering around, they will be summoned back to it. One time I had a world that I was experimenting on that had that mod in it. I put that lantern in a pen, and after a while, I'd have wolves wandering off, because I had them just wandering so that they would basically be patrolling. After a little bit, if they wandered off too far, they'd warp into the pen where the lantern was set up, and they'd just wander around in the pen. And I think having something like that, where you can have a combat-capable pet roaming as like a security guard almost around an area, would be a neat idea. I think that'd be a neat little addition. Even if it was just a feature you add to wolves or cats. Because then if you add it to wolves, they can, and you have a fenced-in area, boom, you got security against skeletons, if nothing else. Cats, they wander around. Oh, they'll keep creepers from hanging around. Heck, you can make it so that cats will actively chase creepers they see, if you wanted to change something up about them. And then boom, if a cat sees a creeper, cat knows, okay, this thing is scared of me. I can tease the heck out of it. Because cats are mischievous. Cats are mischievous things. They're gonna do that. They tease stuff. Of course, sometimes they find out the hard way that, oh, that was not something I should have teased. That was not something I should have teased. Ow. But it's still something they actually do, so it's not like it's out of place. It's not like it's unrealistic. Alright, I was about to say, I thought I might have lost another allay for a second there. Alright, you. Since I'm here, do you have anything worth trading for? No, you do not. I can sign you to oblivion. Goodbye. Alright, I think we're getting close. What were those coordinates again? Yep, we are closing in. It's that way. once we find Duke, I'll probably go ahead and call it on this session. Didn't do what I intended, but circumstances were confusing. I forgot to bring my Silk Touch pick. I had to go back and get it. I didn't want to have to bring Duke, because if I did, I'd have to travel over land specifically to not lose him. And eventually I'll try to retrace the steps I took to get out this way and find the allay that I'm missing. Eventually I'll find all the allays that I'm missing. One way or another, I will figure out a way to do it. Thanks, Hoyt. Hey, here he is. Here's Duke. Alright. I think we're actually going to go ahead and continue on to where I was headed, which is this way. Trying to get to a frozen ocean or frozen river where I can get ice. And again, that's why I had to go back and get my Silk Pick, because you can't collect ice without Silk Touch. And while I have Silk Touch on my axe, it would not have been anywhere near as fast as a pick breaking down the ice for collection. Man, so many holes and gaps and chasms and stuff in the way. It's kind of irritating. I just hope I'm headed the right way, that I'm not making a mistake going out this distance. Alright, so at this point, I just gotta go straight this way, straight to the east, to reach the frozen area that I'm headed for. At least according to Chunk Base. And again, I'm hoping that as I travel around to specific places, I can start leaving behind lodestones with compasses tied to them, so that the lodestones can guide me back to these places later when I need to visit them again. So if I later find out, oh, I need more ice, I can just follow the compass to the lodestone, marking the place where I've been before and gotten what I need. That makes sense? Sweet berries! That's something that I've been waiting to be able to find that I have not been able to farm yet. That's... Ow! That just hurt me in my mount. Hurt me in my horse. Or donkey. Donkey. Duke. Duke the donkey. Alright, come on, Duke. Let's keep going. It looks like we're headed towards frozen territory, so... Or snowy territory. Okay, they're both following me still. I just get concerned about losing my allays, because I don't want to lose a whole bunch of them. Okay, they are still both here. My one and only issue with traveling across snow is I get nervous about powdered snow now. Because I can't always tell if snow is powdered until I'm right there on top of it. Right, of course. I pass anywhere near close to a polar bear that's got a baby, and instantly it hates me. Even if I've done nothing to them, they hate me. There's ice right there on the river. I'm going to keep traveling this way because on the map that I'm trying to use, I found a frozen ocean. Oh, hello. Well, maybe this will work. Maybe this will do. Yeah, this should do. Alright, where are my little LA friends? Come to me, little buddies. I want at least one of you picking up ice, so that I have an easier time getting this stuff. There. I seriously want to have a full inventory. I want to have a full inventory of ice before we go home. Look at this moron out here. Wow. He is so determined to make an emerald or two off of me. He followed me out here into the frozen wastes. What a dude. That's a guy that's dedicated to his work as a salesman. Thanks, little dude. I'm doing pretty good. Where's my second little guy? There he is. Tempted to have him picking up ice too. Oh, wow! Okay. Inventory is filling up. Good. Hey, no worries, dude. No worries. Alright, put as much of this stuff in here as I can. Wow. So that's 15 stacks, huh? Again, not sure how much I'm actually going to need of ice, so I'm grabbing as much as I can. That's part of why I wanted the donkey. What's up, Hoyt? Oh, no. Couldn't you have done chicken jockey? My goodness. I love having these little guys. I wish they could carry more at a time. Or they could collect a lot more variety of items at once, but I'll take what I can get. And what I'm getting is good. My silk pick is definitely going to need some repairs, though. Hmm. Thank you, little buddy. Still a lot more ice to collect before we have a full inventory. Again. Now I'll have two over here collecting ice. I'm using the wrong pick. I've been sitting here using the wrong pickaxe. Snow Fox. It's all Snow Fox. I love those old guys. They're cute. Alright, that should do. If I try to carry any more, I'm going to make it harder for myself to carry everything I'm going to have to carry outside of the ice. Alright, so we've got all the ice. Now all that's left is to make our way home and do some tool repair. But I think I might go ahead and do one little thing. And there we go. Got a compass leading back here when I need to come back. Actually, I should tie him back up for now, because I'm not heading out on this session. That'll be the next one. Because that's going to do it for this session of Guardian Studios, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. If you did, please be sure to let me know by leaving a like and a comment, subscribing if you haven't done it yet, checking out the About page for links to other pages with more content and more ways to support the channel, sharing the channel with your friends who think they might enjoy the content too, and of course, by smacking the notification bell so that you don't miss the next stream or video. With that all being said, thank you once again for watching. I am JGuard01. your guide, your bard, and your humble host into the world's virtual. And I'll see you all next time right here on Guardian Studios. Bye!